स्वराज मेरा जन्मसिद्ध अधिकार है और मैं इसे लेकर रहूंगा. This slogan was coined by one of the greatest leaders of the 20th century, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. It ignited the spark of patriotism among countless Indians during the freedom struggle and ultimately led to India's independence. Today, as we reminisce about the past, how can we forget the achievements of the great sons and daughters of this motherland? The entire country rejoiced when our national anthem was played after Neeraj Chopra won the first gold medal in athletics for India at the Tokyo Olympics. We celebrated with tears of joy at every medal won by our athletes. Why was it so? Happy evening to one and all present here. I, Preeta Nambiar, take this opportunity to introduce the panelists of today's webinar. My dear colleague, Ms. Pushpa Nair, the team of enthusiastic students, Ansh Patel from grade 11, Dhriti Pandey from grade 9, and Aditya Srivastava, our alumni, who is a student at the Hindu College pursuing history honors. I welcome all the panelists.
Yali ho.
Patriotism is not a celebration of a single day, but an integral part of our lives. So join us in the session on patriotism, the tranquil and steady dedication of a lifetime. Ansh, can you identify what is on the screen right now?
No, ma'am, but it looks very interesting.
It's a mind map, Ansh. The theme of today's topic will be represented in a visual form through this mind map, where we will try to throw light on how patriotism has evolved in our country. We will also understand the concept of patriotism and its perspective from a different section of the society, and the contribution of our great leaders and the achievements of the nation. Since this is a virtual platform, we encourage all our viewers to motivate today's panelists with likes and comments through the panel bar present under the live stream. Without further delay, let's ask our panelists what patriotism means to each one of them. Dhriti, let's hear from you.
For me, patriotism is a spectrum of feelings. There's pride, courage, and thrills. It's the zeal to achieve something for the motherland. It is a value that is cultivated by an individual who has developed a sense of pride for their country. It is all about devoting ourselves to the service of our nation, our motherland, without expecting anything in return. It is the duty of every citizen, to serve the country when the need arises. When the nation was with us every time we were in a tough spot, then can we not be a pillar, always standing with the country? Remember, when the going gets tough, our country and its people must get going. सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तां हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा हम बुलबुले हैं इसकी ये गुलसितां हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा.
Wow, Dhriti, thank you so much for uplifting our spirit.
Dhriti dear, you have a melodious voice. Being an active and involved citizen is the best way to support our country and keep it strong. Patriotism is something that has to be felt from within. So Aditya, let's hear from you how the youth relates with the concept of patriotism.
Pride and respect towards our nation embodies the true spirit of patriotism. It is a sentiment that crosses your mind when you see the tricolor flying in its full glory. It is the pride you feel when somebody abroad asks you which country you belong to, and you say, India. However, the youth today must understand that patriotism doesn't mean blindly following the conventional idea of loving your nation. Rather, it means that you own up, you take your responsibility seriously, and show your love by making the nation better in whatever way you can. The youth, being a very integral part of this country, believes in themselves and their role as future citizens of the nation. The youth of today owe a debt to those of the past who worked hard and sacrificed to build us a free nation. Hence, to keep faith with those who have gone before us and upon whose sacrifice the nation was built, young millennials must show what real patriotism is all about. Because we all are ambassadors of India, and together we form a strong team.
Rightly said, Aditya. When we enjoy rights as citizen of our country, we also have a moral obligation to fulfill the duties towards our country. Ansh, can you share your views on patriotism?
Aditya, your views reminded me of a quote. दे सलामी इस तिरंगे को जिसमें तेरी शान है, सर हमेशा ऊंचा रखना इसका जब तक दिल में जान है. Usually, we refer to our country as our motherland. Loving and showing devotion towards our country is the very attitude of patriotism. Not only is patriotism about feeling the pride in your country, it is about taking that pride a step ahead and putting it into action. It is about making choices that will make your country proud in front of the entire world. A patriotic person sees the status of being a citizen as a great honor, but that honor comes with a responsibility. Therefore, patriotic people think about how their choices will reflect onto their countries. For me, it is an ocean of love and devotion, which can be even brighter than the best shade of vermilion.
Ansh, I like the way you introduced your view to us. Would you like to hear some more lines?
Of course, ma'am, I would love to.
ये बात हवाओं को भी बताए रखना, रोशनी होगी चिरागों को जलाए रखना.
Beautiful lines, Pushpa ma'am. And I have noticed something. Looking at the background, it seems Ansh and Dhriti are really missing school. Isn't it, Ansh and Dhriti?
Yes, ma'am.
I guessed it. Values are our roots. Success our wings. The combination of both is through liberty. It is the pride for our nation that makes us strive to work together and contribute towards the welfare of our nation. Now, your views, Pushpa ma'am?
Patriotism is not a discipline that ought to be followed or a duty that has to be done. It is devotion that stirs every heart. Patriotism is a bridge connecting a citizen to his or her motherland. Patriotism or national pride is the feeling of love, devotion, and a sense of attachment to the motherland with the citizen who share the same sentiment. It is about taking pride in one's origin and working for the prosperity of the country. For me, patriotism is not just a feeling, but an act as well. It comes in many forms, from fighting a war for the country to making a difference in society as an individual. Patriotism means supporting and loving our country, even when it's going through rough or difficult times. It means having faith in our country. I don't want to give up just because something isn't going the way I think it should go. I trust my country to get back on the right path.
Pushpa ma'am, you have made us aware of the real meaning of patriotism. Every Indian feels a sense of attachment with the motherland. We salute our valiant heroes at the borders for their selfless service. We are glad to see such an enthusiastic response from our audience. Ansh, do you know what is the best way of expressing the feeling of patriotism?
Being in a dance, I believe it is singing and dancing.
You're right, Ansh. Dance and music binds the people together. Now let's watch a beautiful video.
अपनी भी थोड़ी अदा थोड़ा अंदाज है, ऐसे हैं चाहे वैसे हैं, अरे जो भी हैं जैसे हैं, खुद पे हमें नाज है। जाने ना हमको ये जमाना, चाहो तो हमको आजमाना। ज्ञानबाज हम, जानसाज हम, इश्कबाज दिल वाले, कहते हैं हमको प्यार से इंडिया वाले, छू लेते दिल के तार से इंडिया वाले, हर चीज छीन ले हार से इंडिया वाले, दुश्मन के छक्के छुड़ा दे हम इंडिया वाले, दुश्मन के छक्के छुड़ा दे हम इंडिया वाले।
What a mesmerizing performance by our talented students. Patriotism is something very personal, isn't it? It can be expressed in many ways. Being a student, Dhriti, do you have any idea on how a student should exhibit patriotism?
Oh yes, I have a tons of idea that I'd love to share.
Go ahead, Dhriti. The stage is all yours.
Patriotism does not have to do with only loving your country. It also means loving and respecting your fellow citizens. You can cheer for athletes, representing your country in international competitions, or help your fellow neighbors. But let us not discriminate against anyone. Stop our friends and family if we see them doing it, and uphold the principle of unity in diversity. Also, as young and responsible patriots, we can take care of our mother nature by practicing sustainability. We can fulfill our duty towards our motherland and imbibe these values in our day-to-day lives to make it the country we all aspire to live in. Students should learn that practicing patriotism is not just a grand act, but even small gestures can help, like reducing the use of plastic, which can choke our nation.
That's wonderful, Dhriti. Tell me, is there any way in which you have contributed to society?
Oh, yes. There are a lot of tree planting programs in my society, and I make sure that I'm part of each one of them. Also, me and my friends organize cleaning drives for a better today and secure tomorrow.
Great initiative, Dhriti. I am sure everyone will agree that though there has been a major transformation across generations, the one thing that remains constant amongst everyone is the feeling of patriotism in some way or the other. Ansh, how would you relate to patriotism at the global level?
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is a family. Love and dedication towards one's country are the symbol of patriotism. India plays a major role in encouraging many at the global level by the diversity of knowledge that it holds. We have set records when it comes to science and technology, from inventing zero to inventing the vaccine of the deadly coronavirus, from Gandhian philosophy, which encouraged many to be on the path of non-violence, to spreading the idea and the importance of meditation and yoga all around the world. India has it all. Today, we are living in a highly globalized society which has its reach to international affairs and cultures by the means of media and other sophisticated ways. We have and we will continue the legacy of inspiring and igniting the flame of patriotism in hearts all around the world.
I'm sure we Indians will continue with our nation's great legacy and leave a mark at the global level in every field. Patriotism is an integral part in imbibing the feeling of love for one's nation. Is nation building an expression of patriotism? Aditya, what message do you have for the youth?
Swami Vivekananda once said, "My faith is in the younger generation, the modern generation, and out of them, will come my workers. This quote describes the impact the youth can have in nation building. Patriotism and nation building are two sides of a coin. Nation building is a collaborative effort between the government and the citizens, whereas patriotism creates a common platform and understanding for people of different beliefs in a country, so to be able to work together in a positive and constructive manner for nation building activities. The involvement of youth in the nation building process is a must, as they play one of the most important roles. The youth force in every country is dynamic, creative, and optimistic. Hence, youth are ultimately the social actors of change and process. You can exhibit your love towards the nation by being a part of Clean India, popularly known as Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. You may join non-government organizations and help the needy. You may display your love towards the mankind and thus show your true heroism and patriotism. Patriotism does not only mean to struggle for freedom of one's country. It also includes the honest feeling and true love for the country and the countrymen alike, which can be displayed through passionate work for the country's development. Youth are ultimately the building blocks of the nation. The stronger the youth, the more developed the nation is.
Aditya, do you have any fond memory of your school days?
Oh yes, one of my fondest memories from my school days is during the morning assemblies, where all of us gathered in the academic courtyard and sang the national anthem in chorus. The pulsating vibes felt can never be forgotten and will always be cherished in my heart.
Even I miss it, Aditya.
Me too. I'm sure if the youth shares the same vision as Aditya, our nation will walk the golden path of progress and prosperity. The second home to the child is the school, where they are molded into responsible citizens of the country. Pushpa ma'am, do you think schools should be teaching patriotism? What are your views on this?
According to me, patriotism is a sublime feeling that can never be taught in the classroom. It comes naturally and voluntarily. We can't teach a child how to love his or her mother. If we try to teach patriotism, we might end up teaching nationalism, which in turn might result in irrationalism. I do believe that patriotism needs to be a part of curriculum, but not in a form of textbook and the standard evaluation system. We need it in the form of NCC, Scout, Guide, and activities where students are encouraged to serve the country. This will help students build up a sense of identity. It will help them feel like they belong to their country. The students get the chance to understand that they have a purpose in society. It also helps develop their character positively at a young age. But ultimately, the choice to imbibe patriotism is completely personal. I truly believe the words of Ruskin Bond. Education does not mean teaching people what they do not know. It means teaching them to behave as they do not behave.
Being a teacher myself, I agree with Pushpa ma'am that patriotism need not be taught as a subject, but can definitely be imbibed in the students through various activities. Now let's witness the rise of our nation with this beautiful video.
Moving ahead on this momentous occasion of celebrating India's patriotic fervor, let me take you to an exciting yet insightful wonder ride to the glorious past of Bharatvarsh. The nation marked its birth with the occurrence of urban city life in the form of the Harappan civilization nearly 4,700 years ago. The mid-second millennium BCE, known to be the heroic age of India, presented to our culture one of its invaluable contributions. The Vedic literature, the epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata, and the Upanishads, representing the culmination of Vedic thought. Thereafter, the second phase of urbanization with the consolidation of Mahajanpads was accompanied with the rise of new ascetic movements, Jainism and Buddhism. Acharya Chanakya, who was a great philosopher, statesman, and composer of popular treatise Arthashastra, guided Chandragupta Maurya to establish his empire throughout the subcontinent. India's renowned scholars such as Aryabhatta, Varahamihira, Sushruta, and Charaka made important contributions in mathematics, astronomy, and medicine from the 3rd century BCE onwards. Important landmark in the cultural history of medieval India was the silent revolution in society brought about by a galaxy of socio-religious reformers, a revolution known as the Bhakti and Sufi movement. Furthermore, Kirtan at a Hindu temple, Qawwali at a dargah, and singing of Gurbani at a Gurudwara reflects the attitude of accommodation, adaptation, piety, and charisma that continues to remain the pillar of mystical faith in India. The Sultanate ushered in the period of Indian cultural renaissance. The resulting Indo-Muslim fusion of cultures left lasting syncretic monuments in architecture, music, literature, religion, and clothing. The early modern period began in 16th century when the Mughal Empire conquered most of the Indian subcontinent, signaling proto-industrialization. The conquest of India, which could be said to have begun with the Battle of Plassey, was practically completed with the revolt of 1857. It was certainly a popular revolt in which all sections of society participated so enthusiastically that it came to be regarded as the first war of Indian independence. During this period, India witnessed an intellectual and spiritual awakening that is in some ways similar to the Renaissance. The flowering of religious and social reformers is one of the most creative periods in Indian history. The nationalist struggle under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi marked a new awakening in the Indian independence movement. This was a great success as it gathered massive encouragement to millions of Indians. After years of struggle, India finally became free at the stroke of midnight on August 15, 1947, and with the enforcement of the Constitution, India became a democratic republic nation. Its achievements and relentless efforts, India has emerged as one of the leading players in global space race. From launching its first satellite Aryabhat to sending spacecraft Chandrayaan-2 and Mangalyaan, India has come a long way in its space journey. India has also made great strides in sports since achieving freedom, starting off from the Indian hockey team winning gold for the nation at 1948 London Olympics all the way till today, as the athletes continue to bestow on us moments of national pride by clinching golds, silvers, and bronzes at 2021 Tokyo Olympics. In recent times, the COVID-19 pandemic response delineates our rock-solid willpower to overcome biggest of the impediments challenging us. Thus, India has come a long way since independence, leaving behind a string of landmarks that define its journey from the agony of partition to a strong, powerful, and developing nation, overcoming a plethora of challenges to earn global recognition, though it still has miles to go for years.
Wow, what an amazing journey. This video made us transcend through the different eras in the making of our country. It has rightly captured the splendor and magnificence of Bharatvarsh. It also reminded us of all the legendary personalities that India has given birth to, who have continued to inspire people all around the world even today. Now let's hear from all our participants who their source of inspiration is and the impact they had on their lives. Dhriti, you can start.
PV Sindhu has evermore been my inspiration. I have learned from her that you may fall 7 times, but you will always stand up 8. I have learned to never give up, never for the sake of my nation. A nation is but its people, and if the people give up, the nation will too. Remember, a winner never quits, and a quitter never wins. Her life motto has always been, it doesn't matter where you come from, as long as you know where you are headed. And I am headed to make this country a better place. I can proudly say today that a patriot herself has taught me what patriotism is all about. But now, I want to know from Ansh Bhaiya who your inspiration is and why.
ईस्वी सन 1680 में जन्मा एक नया आजादी का उजाला, रायगढ़ किले में जन्मा शिवई का दुल्हारा. My inspiration is no other than Maharaj Chhatrapati Shivaji. He, at the tender age of 14, acknowledged the idea of Swatantra Bharat almost 500 years ago. And there, he laid the foundation of Maratha Samrajya with the true essence of love towards independent India. He was a very brave and determined individual. He was not afraid to fight against the unjust practices of other rulers, and he was determined to make India independent from the foreign powers. My heart feels proud and elevated by his ideas of enthusiasm and independent India. I want to be as brave and determined as him in future so that I can raise my voice whenever I see something unjust. His strength was in his dedication towards fighting for an important cause. His dream was India's independence, and he passionately fought for this cause. He inspires me to work passionately towards my own aspirations. He inspired me and taught me the importance of independence. He, in my sense, was a true patriot.
Really, the influence of Shivaji Maharaj is not only limited to Maharashtra, but to the entire country. Ansh, have you read the book Wings of Fire by Dr. Abdul Kalam?
I have heard about the book, but couldn't get a chance to read it.
Oh, then you must grab it soon.
Aditya Bhaiya, is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam your inspiration?
Yes, my source of inspiration is none other than the missile man of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He was an astute scientist, a teacher, and was the president of India. He had touched so many lives and ignited so many young minds to believe in the power of thinking, knowledge, and on top of it, self-belief. People admire him not only for what he has given to science, but also due to his unmatchable personality. He inspired me in a lot of ways, but one thing which inspired me the most was his reaction and adaptation to failure. He never stopped working and dreaming just because of failure. Instead, he always worked harder. He made me believe that hard work always pays off. Thus, my learning from this great leader is to take decisions and make it right. Do not quit. Don't worry taking wrong decisions. Instead, own it and correct it. Therefore, Dr. Abdul Kalam's teachings are relevant for all of us. As he once said, a teacher's life lights many lamps. If people remember me as a good teacher, that will be the biggest honor for me. This reminds me of a dedicated teacher like Pushpa ma'am. Ma'am, have you been inspired by anyone?
Aditya, that's a compliment for me. One personality who has inspired me since my childhood is Murlidhar Devidas Amte, popularly known as Baba Amte. He was a well-known social activist and an environmentalist. I met him when I was in class 10. He was on the town working for leprosy patients and paid a surprise visit to our school. He was not keeping good health those days, but was still very actively working for social and environmental causes. I still remember his words, "The future belongs to the common man with uncommon determination." This line still inspires me to perform my duty as a teacher with determination and dedication. Preeta ma'am, I have always looked upon you as a very strong personality. And today, I think all of us would love to hear who your inspiration is.
Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. Isn't it, Pushpa ma'am?
Right, ma'am?
My inspiration is none other than the young charismatic monk, Swami Vivekananda, who mesmerized everyone at the World Parliament with his famous speech. Swami Vivekananda is the greatest inspiration to mankind, the greatest source of achievement, pride, and inspiration. He taught us unconditional love, reinforced the importance of giving back, and taught us how to be a better person. Swami Vivekananda believed that the service to mankind should be selfless, as service to mankind was service to God. With these inspiring thoughts lingering in the air, let us unfold a surprise for the wonderful panelists and audience. Over to you, Ansh.
After the heavy discussion, I am here with a fun way to test our knowledge and lighten the mood with a rapid fire round. So embrace yourselves and get hooked to your screens. Let's ask our panel. Dhriti, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word patriotism?
The Tiranga. It fills my heart with joy when I see the national flag unfurled, soaring in the sky beautifully. It is but a sight to behold.
Well said. Pushpa ma'am, what is the one sweet memory you have from the Independence Day celebration of your school days? The clue is in the question itself.
Well, it's Laddu. And you know what? On Independence Day and Republic Day, we used to have Prabhat Fairy. We began with the fairy early in the morning with the slogans Vande Matram and singing the song, a very famous song, Himadri Tunga Shringa Se Prabuddha Shuddha Bharati. After the Prabhat Fairy, when we were back to school, we were given 2 big laddus. The broad smiles which we had while receiving the laddus cannot be replaced even by a box full of laddus today. And I don't feel the same sweetness and happiness that I felt back then. This is the most lovely experience I have associated with Independence Day.
That was a sweet answer, ma'am. Just like the laddus. Aditya Bhaiya, can you give me a substitute word for patriotism?
According to me, the word is loyalty. Now, let me also tell you all a short anecdote on the virtue of loyalty from Acharya Chanakya's life. Once, a Chinese traveler came to meet Chanakya. Dusk and darkness had just started to set in. When the traveler entered Chanakya's room, he saw that Chanakya was busy writing some important papers under the lighting of an oil lamp. You know that there were no bulbs or tube lights in those days, since there was no electricity. So, in those days, people used to light oil lamps. Chanakya smilingly welcomed his guest and asked him to sit. He then quickly completed the work that he was doing. But do you know what did he do on completing his work? He extinguished the oil lamp under which he was writing and lit another lamp. The Chinese traveler was surprised to see this. He thought that maybe this was a custom followed by Indians when a guest arrives at their home. He asked Chanakya, "Is this custom in India when a guest arrives at your house? I mean, extinguishing one lamp and lighting the other?" Chanakya replied, "No, my dear friend, there's no such custom. Actually, when you entered, I was working. It was an official work pertaining to my empire, my nation. The oil filled in that lamp has been bought from the money of national treasury. Now I'm talking to you. This is a personal and friendly conversation, not related to my nation. So I cannot use that lamp now, as it will lead to the wastage of money of the national treasury. Hence, I extinguished that lamp and lit this other lamp, since the oil in this lamp has been bought from my personal expense." It is amazing to see how principled our leaders were. On seeing such high moral standards of our ancient leaders, sometimes it feels that we should try to emulate them, at least a little. They had such pure behavior, a pure conduct, and a pure conscience. This anecdote rightly tells us how we all should be loyal and dedicated in fulfilling our duties towards our nation.
That was an impressive anecdote. And I must say, I am really impressed by the spontaneous answer given by you all. Now, let's take this game to our enthusiastic audience. I can already sense the eagerness through the comment box. It is going to be a tussle over opinions and thoughts. Are you ready for it? The first question on the screen. What was the name of the fearsome air hostess who fearlessly faced a terrorist attack in Panama Airline back in 1986? And the options are Annie Besant, Nirja Banot, Arundhati Roy, or Menka Gandhi. And the correct answer is Nirja Banot. The next question, who wrote this song?
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, তবে একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো রে, তবে একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো রে।
And the options are Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, Usha Uttup, Amitabh Bachchan, or Rabindranath Tagore. It seems like all of you have guessed it correct. The correct answer is Rabindranath Tagore. The next question, which of the following books did Chanakya write? And the options are Chanakya Sutras, Chanakya Niti, Chanakya Yoga Sahita, or Chanakya Yojana. And the correct answer is Chanakya Niti. The next question, which of the following freedom fighter of India was also known as the Nightingale of India? Options are Begum Hazrat Mahal, Sarojini Naidu, Rani Lakshmi Bai, or Kasturba Gandhi. The correct answer is Sarojini Naidu. The next question, who was the first woman of Indian origin to go to space? Options are Sunita Williams, Avni Chaturvedi, Kalpana Chawla, or Dr. Ritu Srivastava. All of you have guessed it correct. The correct answer is Kalpana Chawla. He is the only athlete to win a gold in 400 meters at the Asian Games as well as the Commonwealth Games. Who is this famous athlete? Options are Neeraj Chopra, Milkha Singh, Abhinav Bindra, or Anil Acharya. The correct answer is Milkha Singh. Mirabai Chanu secured a silver medal in which of the following events in Tokyo 2020 Olympics? Options are weightlifting, gymnastics, track and field, or tennis. You all have answered it correctly. The correct answer is weightlifting. Dream is not what you see in sleep. Dream is something which doesn't let you sleep. Which dignitary quoted this? Options are APJ Abdul Kalam, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Ramnath Kovind, or Dr. Manmohan Singh. The correct answer is APJ Abdul Kalam. What is the new name of Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award? Options are Deepika Kumari Khel Ratna Award, Sania Mirza Khel Ratna Award, Major Dhyanchand Khel Ratna Award, or PT Usha Khel Ratna Award. You have guessed it correct. The correct answer is Major Dhyanchand Khel Ratna Award. This song belongs to which famous movie?
देश है वीर जवानों का, अलबेलों का, मस्तानों का, इस देश का यारो, इस देश का यारो क्या कहना, ये देश है दुनिया का गहना।
Options are Mughal Azam, Kranti, Naya Daur, or Purab or Paschim. all of you have guessed it correctly. The correct answer is Naya Daur.
And I'm sure this evergreen song must have brought a smile on the face of our parents and teachers present here. If there is anybody from the audience who have got all the answers correct, post us an emoji of the Tiranga in the comment section. And children, let me tell you, there's a lot of compliment for each one of you from your teachers and parents. You can read it after the session. And all your teachers have participated in the quiz and they've all got right answers. Now, it's time to unwind our minds and explore patriotism on a deeper level through a poem written by Pushpa ma'am with the title Desh Prem.
देश प्रेम को कागज पे उतारने की एक छोटी कोशिश है। देश प्रेम एक जज्बा है, एक एहसास है जिम्मेदारियों का। देश प्रेम एक जज्बा है, एक एहसास है जिम्मेदारियों का, एक एहसास है अपनेपन का, एक एहसास है विश्वास का। यह एहसास तब भी हो जब देश पे खुशहाली हो, तब भी हो जब देश मुश्किल में हो, तब भी हो जब देश नाम रोशन करे, तब भी हो जब परिस्थितियां प्रतिकूल हो। ये जज्बा नहीं आसान, न ये आजादी थी आसान। देश को समझने के लिए खुद को समझना होगा, अपने गिलेबान में झांकना होगा। जरूरी नहीं कि देश प्रेम की आवाज सिर्फ सरहदों पर हो, जरूरी ये है कि ये आवाज हर घर में हो, ये आवाज हर दफ्तर में हो, ये आवाज हर दिल में हो। क्योंकि देश प्रेम एक जज्बा है, एक एहसास है जिम्मेदारियों का, एक एहसास है अपनेपन का, एक एहसास है विश्वास का। थैंक यू।
This poem has touched our hearts. I wish someday I could also write a poem like you, Pushpa ma'am. The way you have captured the sense of patriotism enveloped us in a mesmerizing feeling of love and respect for the motherland. Also, let me share over here. Pushpa ma'am has written 2 poems which for the Guinness Book of World Records. Pushpa ma'am, would you like to share anything over here? It's a surprise for you.
Keeping my fingers crossed, we are expecting this. The poem has been accepted. 2 poems have been accepted. So please pray for us. Me and my daughter, both of us.
Best wishes to you from all of us, Pushpa ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
As Nelson Mandela once said, the youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow. So here's a message for the youth of our country, the future citizen. Patriotism consists not only in waving the flag or singing the national anthem, but in striving that a country shall be righteous as well as strong. It refers to the passionate love one has for their country. As citizens of this glorious country, let us pledge to work towards a new spirit of patriotism, of responsibility, where each one of us resolves to pitch in and work harder and look not only at ourselves, but of each other as responsible citizens of this great nation. Let's make the youth rethink the significance of the freedom of India and the sacrifice of the countless Indians. Arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is achieved. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion for this, to reach for the stars to change the world. Go for it.
Thank you, Preeta ma'am, for your stimulating words. I'm sure this message must have touched the youth. Let us not take the sacrifice of countless Indians for granted and always value our hard-earned freedom. As we have come to the end of this webinar, I would like to express my gratitude to the wonderful audience for your love, support, and constant encouragement through the comment. Thank you to all the participants and every single individual who has worked hard behind the scene. We conclude with an inspiring video with a strong message.
जय हिंद।